Hey everyone, Anthony Scott here at ToyHypeUSA.com. So Mattel was kind enough to send along Donatello of their Turtles of Grayskull line, which is a crossover between Masters of the Universe and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He is part of a 4-figure wave, and we're going to be taking a closer look at that in just a moment. But here is a look at the front of the packaging here. It is done very similar to the Origins line, as well as Masters of the WWE Universe and WWE Superstars. You have He-Man, you have Leonardo right there up on top. You have the Turtles of Grayskull logo and a bunch of rocks exploding. On the back shows a really cool action shot of Donatello squaring off against Beastman. And you have a look at the rest of the wave. Let's bring this in so you guys can take a closer look at that, which includes Leonardo, He-Man, as if he's been transformed into a mutant. Donatello and Man-at-Arms makes up the first wave. These will be available for pre-order in early 2024. However, some people already have some of these figures in hands. Here is a description, which you see up here, and there's directions right there. So look at that. So I'm going to open Donatello up right now, and let's take a closer look. Here is your in-hand look at Donatello, his staff mace accessory, as well as the mini comic. In the package, there is also a sheet of instructions showcasing which parts are removable, such as the head, the arms, the torso, as well as the lower legs. What do you say we take a closer look at the mini comic? Here is a look at the cover, showcasing many of the characters that are going to be given figures as well. Keep in mind, this is a spoiler alert. I know most people don't have this figure in hand, so if you don't want to be spoiled from the inside of the comic, just fast forward the video. This is your only warning. And here is a look at the mini comic. Bringing this in a little bit closer so you guys can read it. Trap drawer. The turtles arrive. And they meet some of the masters. Krang and Shredder. And here is them with their armor. Krang and Shredder get mutated, joining forces with Skeletor. And the last page, you see mutated He-Man, which is also going to be a figure. All of these will be figures. I don't believe they announced Skeletor, but you can definitely use the Origin Skeletor in your collection. And the back of the mini comic showcases the 4 figures in this wave: Leonardo, He-Man, Donatello, and Man-at-Arms. Here's your in-hand look at Donatello, paying tribute to Man-at-Arms with the armor. You can tell especially from the helmet, as well as the chest armor. Turning this guy around. He is done in Origin style, so he has the Origins, some of the tooling, and these parts would also be compatible with other Origins offered figures. Masters of the Universe Origins, WWE Superstars, and Masters of the WWE Universe. All these lines have reused parts. Here is a look at the back of Donatello. But let's take a closer look at his head sculpt. You'd see how that is helmeted here. He has his purple bandana as well. Chest is painted different color. Nice green skin tone as well. Let's look at the back of the helmet here. What I find interesting about him is that the shell is actually removable. So, and that becomes a shield. So the shell is removable, and this would just plug right back into the back of the armor. See these pegs right here? That's how to plug them back in. This is the handle he can hold on to. Now that this is off, he basically loses his shell. So what you have back here is the reminiscent of a shell, which is left in the dark green. So he basically loses his shell. Here's a look at Donatello holding his accessories, including the shield, which, as you guys know, is a shell, and the staff mace accessory. Here is another pose. He can also hold the mace above his head with both hands. Here's another pose of him holding the staff with both hands. The staff can also be stored on the back of his shell, and as I was working through the review, you should have seen the holster on the back there, and there's a closer look. I realize that most people don't have them in hand yet, as pre-orders aren't even live, so I went ahead and removed all of the armor that I could. The helmet cannot be removed, unfortunately, but I went ahead and took everything else off. You see where the reuse is, a lot of reuse on the arms and the legs. The chest would be all new, given the turtle details there. And here is a look at the back, showcasing that part of the shell that I mentioned earlier on in the video. The ankles are painted in purple, just so if you decide to take them off, you know that these particular ones are for Donatello. I like the fact that they did that. As he reuses parts with other Origins figures, as well as the style, the articulation would be the same, as this style is now almost 4 years old. I think you guys know what to expect as far as that, but let's go over it for those that don't. Ball jointed head, swivel hinged shoulders, swivel hinged elbows, swivel hinged wrists, swivel waist, ball jointed hips, swivel hinged knees, swivel calves, hinged and rocker ankles. Here's a comparison of Donatello with He-Man and Man-at-Arms. Here is a comparison with Skeletor and Beastman. Overall, the Masters of the Universe and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover figures are great. Donatello is an excellent figure I think fans are going to love. I particularly love the style, the attention to detail, the articulation. There's just a lot to love about bringing these two brands together, and I think Mattel has did a great job capturing that. My recommendation would be to pick them up and other figures once they are available. Thank you to Mattel once again for sending along for a review. This is greatly appreciated. I am Anthony Scott at ToyHypeUSA.com. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for more coverage and reviews.